Hey guys, it's Jen. I was watching a video on MAJ-12/SM420. He had found a video, actually a commercial that FEMA has airing on television right now, and it's about family preparedness. The website that they provide was ready.gov/kids, /kids for that matter. So it was talking about family preparedness in the event of a disaster. And so I wanted to check it out because my theory is they have always considered us crazy. They make it seem like truthers, preppers, whatever you want to call us, are crazy and paranoid and any other derogatory term you can think of because we prepare for the what if situations. Well, now we have the overlords telling us to prepare, and not only prepare, but get our children prepared, and not just prepared, but mentally prepared, which does concern me to some extent. Um, the saying, keep your friends close and your enemies closer, that's what came to mind on this for me. So what I did was I went to the CDC website because I wanted to watch some of the videos that they have done because I've seen quite a few on TV. I didn't stop to think to record them, but I have seen quite a few here and there, and mainly on the children networks, like, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, and things like that. So when I saw this video that MAJ put up, it, made me recall what I had been seeing. So first I went to the CDC website because keep your friends close, your enemies closer, and I want to see what they are preparing for. What they are prepared for, see, preparedness for all hazards. I will leave all these links below for each tab that I'm showing you, so you guys can do further, more extensive research. But they are specifically preparing for natural disasters and severe weather, which is a norm, bioterrorism, chemical emergencies, including nerve agents, recent outbreaks and incidents, mass casualties as in explosion blast injuries, radiation emergencies as in dirty bombs and nuclear blasts. So what we need to do is see what our enemies, what our overlords are preparing for, because if they're preparing for this stuff, then we need to it will give us a good grasp on the entire scope of what is probable and what is being prepared for and what they are getting ready to roll out. Also, you can click another tab I will put down below, the CDC's roles in national preparedness and response to all of these events that are probable. Let me go, whoops, don't want that. So anyhow, I went to the ready.gov website, as you can see right here, prepare, plan, stay informed, the FEMA website. And of course, I did more research, what they're preparing. Natural disasters, which, like I said, is a norm, including space weather, which I just thought this right here was very curious, since the icing thing and all the things that they are specifically talking about. Not stuff that we're researching, finding, but this information that they are putting out themselves. So another good link just to check out. Like I said, know thy enemy. Again, FEMA's website, plan, prepare, mitigate, which goes on to, hold on, let me get to where I need to be. Now, this is part of the ready.gov kids direct link. Be a hero, make a plan, build a kit, know the facts, get involved. Disasters affect everyone. So this is where it gets really interesting. You have links right here for kids, for parents, and for educators. So let's continue on. This one is the kids page where they can play games, so they understand the steps and what they need to do in the event of a disaster. Become a disaster master. And then there is a build a kit, which is another game that you play with this little girl, Gail, who is in a wheelchair, and you help her prepare for disasters and what they need to do in the event that they encounter something and their parents aren't around. Read alert, take action, follow directions. This is talking about wireless emergency alerts, which will be sent en masse to every cell phone in the event of a disaster of everything that I just listed on the CDC website. Then it goes on to educators. Now this is where it gets very interesting for me because basically the government is going to be having your schools, your teachers, going over this information with your children and preparing them for you. So in case you're not doing your job, like, packing them a good enough lunch, that little story that's going around what these public schools are doing to parents. Anyhow, this is what educators will be teaching your children and going over. Now, for the younger students, level 1, first and second grade, students will learn about emergencies and how to prepare for them. From fire safety to natural disasters, they will exercise their investigative, creative, and communication skills, working both individually and collaboratively. Level 2, which will be 3rd through 5th grade, students will work individually and in teams to research emergencies that impact communities locally and nationally and apply creativity and literacy skills to demonstrate their understanding of emergency preparedness. Now, as you do further research on this, basically is if they don't grasp this, they go into a re-educational program further, more in depth than what is already going to be covered here. Level 3 middle school students will be they will develop a graphic novel to show their understanding of emergency preparedness. They will gain knowledge through research, games, simulations, discussions, debates, and other inquiry-driven activities. So your middle school students will be writing a graphic novel about an emergency, about a shitstorm happening. And they will, to prove that they understand what they are being taught. So that's what your 11, 12, and 13-year-olds will be doing. Now, the high school level gets a lot more in-depth, where students will engage in discussions, multimedia, research, surveys, interviews to develop their own communication campaigns aimed at raising awareness and motivating others to be prepared for emergencies. And then, again, play games and learn. Also, you guys can do this on your own. You can download PDFs for each level, for each tier, to see exactly what is going to be covered in schools for your children. You go on, this is for parents. This is the parents page, and of course you can click on all these links. This is the parents FAQ. This is quite generic on here. It's talking about snowstorms and hurricanes, tornadoes, basic stuff that we encounter every day. That's not what really raised my concern on this page. What did was, next to this little sad bear right here, for many kids, reactions to disasters are brief, but some children can be at risk for more enduring psychological distress. 3 risk factors for this longer-lasting response are direct exposure to the disaster, such as being evacuated, observing injuries of others, or experiencing injury. Second, loss, grief relating to the death or serious injury of family or friends, and ongoing stress from secondary effects such as temporary housing, loss of social networks, loss of personal property, or parents' unemployment. So they're going to be covering the education or the emotional distress that these types of things can affect your children. So they do not trust you to teach your children and to comfort your children. They are going to do it for you because, like I said before, apparently we can't even pack a lunch correctly for our kids. So they are going to take it into their own hands. Also a link here, there is a page on the FEMA website, which is Family Communication Plans for Children, which you can download, and a Family Communication Plan for Parents. Again, just more extensive information that you guys can research further. Like I said, we need to know whatever they are planning for, whatever they are preparing for, we need to keep our eyes on. And we need to know what, to me, the fact that they are rolling this out so strongly with commercials and through the educational system of public schools concerns me greatly. I may be nothing, but like I said, for so long we were crazy and nutty for going this far, yet now all of a sudden they're going full steam ahead with it. Also, all right, that link I already opened up for you. And then also there was a link where it says, what's happening in your state? Click on a state to learn more about recent events or large-scale disasters in that area. Find out what type of emergencies you may be at risk for and get information on helpful resources closer to home. Now, this is designed for your children. So I would not only recommend clicking on your state, but click on various other states and see what they have to say. and see what they are preparing your children for. Um, like I said, what really concerned me about this is we were we were paranoid for so long, but yet this is what they are pushing heavily for. The CDC website also, if you click on these individual links here, um, it will give you a lot more in-depth information about exactly what they're doing and how they're doing it. It's good information. See it, preparedness for all hazards. What is the CDC doing about it? What you can do, and there's further stuff that you can research, like the bioterrorism thing, for instance. Case definitions, training first responders, lab info, surveillance, preparation, planning. Um, we all know something's coming down the pike. We just don't know what. But I think it's important that we research this and see what thy enemy is planning. That way we can plan accordingly. So, anyhow, I thought it was good information. I hope everybody's doing well, and I will talk to you guys soon.